an old wood-frame house that spoke volumes that carried with it an air of mystery. That was in the winter of 1998, and the article by Larry Bingham told about a man celebrating his 100th birthday party at school and reading his birthday cards for the first time. He learned to read and write after starting school at the age of 98. I did take that article down to my school. My fourth grade students had questions. What grade is he in? He wasn't a third grade reader by then, which was impressive 2 years of study. But is he in a class like ours, they asked? And most importantly to them, they asked, does he sit at a desk like we had, and does he go out on the playground? Those are good questions. I had questions too. At an advanced age, when I imagine that most people look to the past, how did this man have the courage to just start school at the age of 98? And beyond that, when many children that start at the appropriate age have difficulties in school, how did he actually learn to read? More than that, to me, it was just incredible, though, think of the history he must have seen in 100 years of living. To answer their questions and mine, I called and talked to George Dawson and his teacher, Carl Henry, in a brief and polite conversation between strangers, especially one you might hear more in the South, I believe. They said, stop on by sometime when you're down this way, we can talk some more. That was that. Except that 3 weeks later, I flew 2,000 miles, landed in Dallas, a city I'd never been to, in which I knew absolutely no one knocked on the classroom door. I still don't know to this day who was more surprised by my arrival, them or me. Only later did I learn that Mr. Dawson turned to the teacher, Carl Henry, and asked, what should I do? I'd never talked to a white man before. By that he meant he had worked for white people all his life, but conversations from his end had always been limited to, everything's just fine, sir. Still, that first visit led to a series of visits, and with an invitation that I understand now demanded tremendous courage, for it went against all of his experiences of race relations. He invited me to live at his house. Living with him changed the direction of the book I was just beginning to write, but more importantly, it changed the direction of our lives. I learned that as impressive as it was as an accomplishment, learning to read was only a small part of his life. The real accomplishment was that in 100 years of daily struggle, the desire to learn still burned strong. His question, why am I still alive, and why am I healthy at age 100, had an answer for him. George Dawson's mission was to record his story in print, and by doing that, help others find a way to better their lives. To do that, we had to talk. To talk, we had to listen to each other. And even after we began talking, time was against us. How many tomorrows would there be? Some nights we talked late, for tomorrow was not a promise. The first time I said, I'll see you in the morning and we can talk some more. He responded with a laugh. I hope so, son. That would be just fine. That shook me up a little bit, but I got the message. Take nothing for granted. Be grateful for this day, and to learn that in his long life it has always been that way. In a life of the child that lost to poverty and racism, there was only gratitude for what was. The bitterness, the regret I expected to record, did not exist. Along with a half-finished manuscript, I had to throw out my assumptions and start over. But the book that we worked on together for more than a year finally became a reality. Yet, when completed, it was still only a book. More importantly, in that year, my world had expanded, and so had his. I learned that from the earliest time of the written word, history has been written from the viewpoints of pictures of war, of race, of nationality. It's written about the pharaohs, not the slaves who built the pyramids. History has been written about the owners of the railroads, not the workers. History has been written about the timber barons, not the mill workers. History was written about the captains of the Mississippi River, not the men who toiled Dawson did to build the levees.